Jeff, are you with CyberSells or are you a dealer
I'm a client as well.
client? Okay. I wasn't sure if a meeting was happening or not today, if this was the onboarding or not.
No, it's just their open office hours.
Okay.
So,
'Cause someone in my office told me that we needed to be onboarded, so they thought it was they thought it was happening now, but I guess we'll wait and see what happens. Maybe they misunderstood. Where are
yeah.
you out of?
What's that?
Where are you located?
We're in Indianapolis,
Oh,
Indiana.
wow.
Yep.
Okay. They're way far away. Probably not having the best weather, I imagine.
It's not too bad. It's cold
Not too
outside.
bad. Okay. We keep seeing all these, well, you're, I guess, Midwest, but I mean, all the East Coast flooding and craziness and uh, we're actually getting a few inches of rain here in California, which is a big deal for us, but
Oh wow. Yeah, no, it's like 40 degrees and sunshine, so I can't complain too much.
no, that's not bad. That's
Yeah.
actually not bad. My
Yep.
cousin's here from Chicago. When he left, it was like 18 degrees. And
Yeah.
he was very happy for the 60 plus 70 and almost 80 a couple weeks ago. So,
They
yeah.
get some of that lake effect wind and weather up there, so
Oh, Steven's autopilot. I think Steven's autopilot I heard got kicked out once before. I don't know. I don't know if it'll happen again. Uh, yep. She kicked it out. So I mean, what is your primary business in Indianapolis? What do you all do?
we're a cloud service provider, so
Okay.
we deal with a lot with cloud compute and Azure.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You
Our
an
fo-
MSP?
What's that?
Are you an MSP as well?
We are not.
Okay.
We are kind of the weird ones in the group. We came from another side of the business, but I've been doing like consulting and training and speaking, and our focus is more on assessments, the cybersecurity assessments and policies and procedures, that kind of thing.
Got it.
Hi, guys.
We are a possibility of an MSP maybe next year. I've been holding back, but we keep getting pulled. I don't know. We're baby stepping it maybe next year.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Can hear you okay now.
Yep.
Awesome. Hi, guys. How are you? For some reason, my Zoom does not want to pick up any audio on my computer right now, and I don't know why. So I'm going from Teams to Google to Zoom, and Zoom's just being very annoying. So I'm just calling from my phone.
Whatever works.
Great.
Whatever works. So, guys, this is your time. What can I help you with?
I was just kind of popping on to listen to what else was happening, I guess. So
Yeah, no, that's honestly that's one of the best ways to benefit from this for sure is to see what other people are dealing with and how we're solving and solutioning. So, all right, so let me move on to Bashir. What you got? Hi, Pam.
Good afternoon. I was actually doing the same thing, log in and just try to pick
Well,
up
this
on
is
some.
going to be the Pam show. Pam's going to get all the time. And we'll see if Lewis pops on too because he was sending some messages. I do want to make sure you guys are getting on the platform as much as possible because now that we're starting to have more interaction, we're having more people join, we're learning from one another. The platform itself is so useful to get feedback, not just from myself and my team, but from each other. So if we have an opportunity to get on that, it would be fabulous.
And that was actually one of the reasons I was here today. I was told that we were supposed to be doing the onboarding for the platform. Angela's like, oh, I think we're going to be on, and she's not feeling well. So I thought I'd pinch it. But
Aw.
what was your original question, Alex? What are we doing or what's going on? I forget what your original question was.
Well, the original question is, what can I do for you? But it sounds like you need to get onto the platform because I know Sierra has gone on once or twice. Angela has gone on, but thought it was a little cumbersome because it wasn't the one thing I don't like about the platform is that it doesn't give notifications. So you do have to remember to check it, which really is not that big of a deal for you guys. It's more of a deal for me. So I selfishly was like, man, I want notifications when these guys are asking me questions, but I just have to know to check it. So
Yeah,
have
'cause
you
I know they're both.
successfully
Sorry, go
logged
ahead.
on or no?
I have
Have you
not been on it at
successfully
all.
logged in? No. Okay. So let me get you in. Let's do that, number one, and then we can work on your stuff because selfishly I want this done. So so here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, for me, since
And
I think it's really talking about stacks and stuff and trying to figure out, because I mean I know the oddball or unicorn in the group who's not an MSP, and trying to figure out whether I want to just partner with other people at this point to do that. Because we were doing the numbers the last couple days, and it's like we were just giving away so much money. So
mhm.
whether to partner with someone who's willing to share in that, or to because we do have lots of opportunities and lots of a base, and our old base, our new base, and all the speaking things.
Huge.
Yeah, we have a lot of, we just have so much untapped potential. So it's a matter of whether do it with a partner or to do it on our own and kind of baby step it this year. So that's kind of where I'm
Yeah.
at. What if we can find someone, because I have a couple people, but I just also just again, like I think we talked about individually, it was like, that margin is like trying to find the right margin that feels comfortable without me feeling like I'm giving away, a good, huge chunk. So
Yeah, and there is actually somebody that I want you to speak with regarding that based on the conversation that we had, specifically someone local to you, which
that would,
I'm all for going outside of where you are geographically, but sometimes if you have that local resource
yeah,
to sort of do the work for you, quote unquote, to hire it out so that you don't necessarily have to. You could potentially white label. He could white label for you. So I
exactly.
did speak to him. I did speak
That's
to him on
awesome.
your behalf 2 days
That's
ago.
awesome. Yeah, I
So
have
I
an
will.
East Coast.
I'll connect.
That's awesome. I have someone on the East Coast and I have someone down south for me, but I, would like to fill it in. And if there is someone who might be, more in line with where we're at, that would be fabulous.
Absolutely. Okay. So Pam, what's your email address? Because I'm going to send an invite as well as I'm also going to connect the link in this chat for you.
It is Pam at Triumph Office. So PAM, which I got to change that domain to at this next year. TRIUMPH and the word office.com.
Already got it. All right. So you are in like Flynn. So now I just need to send this via chat. Now this has been sent out to everybody, but every single person on this should be able to take a look. So it's on the chat inside of this this conversation. See if you can access.
It's getting there. Okay. Sign up.
As
So I
long
need to
as it's
sign
get.
up. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So this is something that I want every single person on this call to be utilizing this platform because it is so useful. We've got a couple of office hours. Let's see. Office hours discussion. So not only are we going to be putting in the recording of these office hours, but we're also going to be uploading pertinent information, notes, highlights from our autopilot, all of the things, right? So it makes it a lot easier so you guys can sort of just find good stuff that you need so you're not searching constantly for resources. Jeff, one of the things that we worked on in one of the office hours a few weeks ago, and I wish you had been here for that, was it Lewis? I can't even remember. It was one of our people were working on a top of funnel program inside of their CRM. And they were using, I think they were using Go High Level at the time, but it would work with HubSpot or anything else. But it was just putting a nurture flow together, which would have been great for you. And we discussed it a few weeks back. We will discuss it again, but this is going to happen after the 30, 60, 90 is produced, explained, we go through it, which we went through yesterday of, I can't believe Christmas is next week, but still it's going to get to the point where once you have that 30, 60, 90 and you know the activities that you need to do, it's going to fill in the blanks of, oh, shoot, yeah, we probably need a nurture flow inside of our emails because we don't want to have to manually do all of this stuff because that goes right into processes. So Bashir, you'll probably want to do that as well. And Pam, are you able to get in here?
I'm in.
No?
Yeah, I'm in. I was just
You're
looking at
in.
your
Okay.
present. I was trying to click download somebody to see if it worked. So yeah, we're good.
Okay, cool. So do me a huge favor. I will, you know what I'll do? I will open this for sharing, but I'm actually going to share my screen so that you guys can see what it looks like. I'm hoping it doesn't look like the admin view, but maybe it will. So do you see something kind of like this when you're in?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So your home is right there. It tells you what TechSellerate is. It tells you that we only have 14 members, but we actually have more, but it's very weird because I guess people have not been logging in yet. So our discussion is going to be right here inside of community. So this is where you're going to access your company resume. It's where you're going to access your 30, 60, 90-day planning template in case you guys lost it, because you can click in there and you can actually download it. And then we've got the ability to download that, edit that, and give me 1 second. I have somebody that stayed home from school today because I took them to Disney and they got very tired. So hold on 1 second.
Oh, how cute.
All right, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
There we go.
Hello.
All right, we have a 3-year-old saying hi, everybody.
Oh, what a cutie.
So then we've got in here, you've got the ability to comment, ask questions, anything that's within the community itself. If you move into our office hours, this is where you guys can mention anything. If you're having any questions, just put the title like, can't find where to, promote, right? So maybe you're looking for groups, you're looking to promote something, you're looking to go into LinkedIn something, you want to label it by the subject, similar to what you would do inside of an email, and then you would put the subject of that right up there, and then you would put the body of what you're asking, so that again everybody can find it fast, and then we can respond to it. Make sense? Okay. So there, I'm putting you on speakerphone. I think that'll probably be easier, so I'm not holding it to my ear. From here, we've got the ability to attach. So if you want to put context, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So you can put context. If you have somebody that sent a really weird email, which Angela has done this before, where she's actually said, hey, this email was really weird. And she sent a screenshot of the email, and I was like, oh yeah, that's really weird. We had to like work through it inside of the office hour. Or if we're going through a sales cycle, like, is this an op, right? This is like my favorite one right here, because nobody ever actually knows if it's an opportunity or not, but we just go back to the basics and we cover budget, authority, need, timeline. So it's just going back to basics a lot. And so inside of office hours, if you put your questions, chances are everybody else is having the exact same questions and dealing with the exact same stuff. You guys are all at a very similar growth point. So it's reasonable to assume that you guys are dealing with similar instances. From here, Help Center, if you're having technical issues, really there hasn't been anything because there haven't been technical issues because half the people weren't able to log in because they didn't get email. So now we're rectifying that. So we'll take care of that real quick. And then suggestion box on how to run it better. So if you guys want to cover anything specifically, if you have any requests, if you need another format in a template, if you need anything so that it is easier to find, right? We don't want you guys going in and out of a Google Drive. We want everything right here. And then inside of community, this is just sort of, again, where we put basic templates and you can get assignments. And your pipeline tracker, this is the meat of it. We actually had Brian today was trying to upload his pipeline today. And I'm like, bro, it is only Tuesday. So I'm going to delete this and you can put it in on Friday when I need it, or on Thursday after we cover it. So I would like to see pipeline loaded up here for checking. If you guys are open to having us attack a little bit and pick it apart, you can absolutely black out names, contact details. I don't want to see them. I just want to make sure that we're moving things through the process the right way. From here, you can see who is in the group and you can network with one another. You can also go into learning. So this is if you finish the basics, we can get you into the next thing. But if you click in here, I'm going to show you how it's laid out. It'll make things really, really easy for you. So you can see the TechSellerate experience. You've got 1, 2 videos and a couple of courses and some downloadable content. So you've got a lot here and a lot at your fingertips that's just sort of there and available for you. So I want to make sure that you guys are able to access it and understand how to use it. Make sense? Kind of?
Yeah.
Clear as mud?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It's a good start.
Okay. Well, so the resume cheat sheet is, I just saw your comment. The resume cheat sheet, we try to do that with everybody when they first start. So you were a little bit different because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Angela and Sierra worked on it together. But it's something that I want every single person that touches sales to have in front of them. And not everybody's going to look the exact same, but at least it's a good start and it's a good cheat sheet. This is not one that is like a marketing one. This is very sales focused. So when it says what your 30-second elevator pitch is, it's just that. I don't want your value proposition. I want the sale.
Yeah, for us, I think the hardest part, as you know, is the pricing, just putting that pricing down there. And we've been continuing to work on that the last few days too, because just to have something with more firm, because again, we customize everything. So we're trying to make it a little bit more easy. So I don't have to be there for every moment to price it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And with our intensive, I was calculating and I was trying to figure out break even versus what it's going to be. And because you have so many changes that are about to happen anyways, I think it's going to get a little bit easier for you from a pricing standpoint on how to price things. But I think it's going to be, it'll be interesting to see how much of each thing you need. And then you can really take a look and say, okay, this is how much effort it takes for this. This is how much effort it takes for this. And then you get a real true sort of gut check cost of goods sold. It's not even cost of goods sold and the profit margin. It's cost of goods sold and how much effort it takes to do that particular stuff.
Yeah,
it's a lift on some of this stuff.
Yeah, having that every single time we're really touching the client, because that's one of the things. I know we've underpriced a number of them because we end up spending much more time than we originally anticipated. And I always like to give more too, so people are totally satisfied, kind of thing. So yeah, it's trying to like really document that much better, because we were talking about that the other day too. Like we're not documenting enough of time of our time spent and with the whole process. Everybody else is really quiet.
I know, but that's okay.
That's okay. I'm fine.
Yeah, they're picking up on what you're dealing with too, and getting a very cute co-host with me today. So,
very distracting co-host, I must. A little bit.
Oh, is she? I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. No, it's totally fine. It's totally fine, Alex.
All right, here. Why don't you say hi to everybody, and
She's
then I
in training.
Yeah, it is good training. Do you want to say hi to everybody, and then you can go watch some TV?
Yeah.
Okay, say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. All right. Now go watch some TV. And hold on 1 second.
It's fine, Alex. I'm fine.
All right, fine. So she can hang out for a minute, but and then I'll kick her off. It's tiny battles. So
Totally
what else do you need to go over from a standpoint of what we can help you through from a sales process and anything that you're dealing with right now? Because I know, especially because now we're peeling back the layers of the onion, I'm wondering if things have come up that you are wanting to knock out pretty quick.
I'll just go ahead since everyone else is on.
Absolutely.
I mean, like I said, when the first thing is really, we realize we need to really flesh out our tech stack, is to going, okay, so these are the things that we have, the kind of the check mark, because we basically have, I don't say, let's say 3 or 4 like things that we're super strong in, but there's all these other missed opportunities, so to speak, that I just have that checklist of, okay, do they have this? Do they have this? Just kind of a cheat sheet for that, which I was actually just working on that last night, just, looking at different resources. So just that's probably, and having that cheat sheet along with maybe base pricing attached to it if need be, but just having that, so that, and kind of just seeing the whole process. And I know we were talking about processes the other day, an organization, because that's the big one for, I think, all of us, is mixing the sales and the marketing portion with the, into the closing the sale and making sure we're checking off all the boxes, that we're not missing any lost opportunities. And then the other thing for us, which I'm looking into as well, seeing about maybe either hiring someone, I don't know, I have a couple different ideas, just to have someone clean up our email list again, because I know that our email list really needs to be cleaned up, and separated better. We have, like I said, we have, kind of unusual, I think, maybe, is that we just have so many different pipelines that we have from existing business clients who don't even know that we've been doing this for 5+ years, and then the speaking ones, and separating them out so that we have these distinct offerings for the small ones that we're trying to go after still, and the large corporate accounts that have a certain offering. So kind of, so someone can look at those offerings and go, okay, I'm talking to a small mid-sized business, this is what I'm going to talk to them about. And then for the corporate line, this is what I'm going to focus in on that. So kind of having multiple, so it's email cleanup, and making sure our pipelines are clear of who we're selling what to. And then again, distinguishing between the who's doing what, because that's still getting, as you know, it's still complicated for us of where it's starting and where it's finishing, and who's it delegated to, because we're not a true sales team like maybe some of these other companies have. So we're all still really kind of integrated with each other.
Okay, so one thing that I would urge though is to make sure that you are really focused, and I understand the idea of ancillary sort of opportunities. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm all about passive income if it's set up correctly and it's not taking your focus away. Because one thing I am hearing is these people don't know that we're doing this. These people don't know what we're doing. We've got 5 other offerings, and based on the conversation that you and I had with your intensive, we identified sort of 4-ish streams of revenue, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we need to understand what that lift is, and then identify which ones are going to be the most effective, and then what are you doing to cross-sell, right? I think we're back to the very, very beginning of having that conversation again, which, and I'm not coming down on you by any means. I know that it's been like a little bit of a crazy year and you've been trying to get it all done, but I think when it's clean and clear and the offering is clear, it's going to be a lot easier to offer that to people as an expansion, and even allowing them to say, oh, shoot, you do this, right?
Right.
Right. And Beth just joined. Hi, Beth. We've got a similar, hey, there she is. And sorry, by the way, I apologize in advance. I tried at least. I've got a co-host today for the office hours. So
you can leave.
I know. But one of the things that Beth has been dealing with, and it's very interesting that you both deal with this, right, is you have a specific offering, and then you've got expanse offering or a different pipeline of tools and services. And some people just don't get that you even do the other thing, right? And so what is the path, right? What is the path of expansion? Or if you're not expanding, what is the reason not to expand, right? Or is there a reason not to expand? Or is it hard to expand, right? Having those conversations, because it's a lot easier, technically, it's a lot easier to expand into existing clients, and cheaper too, right? The cost of lead acquisition is a lot higher than it is if you're just, expanding into somebody that already pays you,
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up too, because like we have a longtime client, or not a longtime client, a longtime employee who's been on the other side of the business, who has a really great relationship with our clients on the hardware side.
Is he the one with the? He's the one with the hardware, right? Hardware.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
talking about?
Mark.
Yeah.
So he's been
Yeah.
with me a long time, and I've been trying to see, how to leverage that, with him maybe, but I want to make sure he's comfortable, has the right script to, or email, whichever we think might work better, to just start doing that, just start calling those clients like, hey, did you know? Because I'm again, and I'd say 99% of that client base does have no idea that we do what we do for the last, like I said, 5+ years as we've transitioned. So he's a good ambassador, I guess, of sorts to do that. But I want to make sure I get him into the right place where he's comfortable doing that, because it's not something he's in at all. But if he has just a couple of good questions that he can get, and then we have the answers of the cheat sheet for him ready to go, I think that could be an additional help to the rest of us who are overloaded.
So question, because you've brought that up a few times in the past, what's preventing you from moving forward on that? Is that just a time issue? Is it priority? Like what's going on?
It's a combination. I think we feel like we have to have it down ourselves before we can pass it to him. I don't want to just throw him on the phones or throw him on the email and go, and then not be able to respond. I want to have the very simple things to give him, to able to, okay, they asked me for this, now give them that. Now they asked me for this. So it's all, he doesn't have to keep going back and forth with us, because that'll create more issues. We don't have that very quick and dirty kind of answer for him for or materials, or a file that we can just give to him super simply. We we have to narrow it down and make it simple, because he wouldn't be able to do anything beyond that. But we can talk about that later.
Well, no. So I think that might actually be important, because Beth, do you have similar issues with or struggle, or Bashir, or anybody that has similar, like how do we cross sell? How do we up that passive income? How do we get expansion, or do you all not deal with that at all? You're on
With
mute.
QBRs, we use a tool, not well. It's called Lifecycle Insights, to where we have, and then it graphs out everything they have and the suggestions to do the cross sell. I agree with you. It's much less expensive to go acquire and really flesh out what your current clients don't have and they should need for security purposes. But that's what we do. The goal is to send out cross sell emails, but does anyone look at them? Not necessarily, but we're trying to do better at that. So yes, we struggle. Long answer for that.
It's so funny that you mentioned that company, because I was literally just looking at their website this morning because of a link I got on my LinkedIn, and I don't normally do that, but I looked at it and I'm like, oh, this is an interesting company. I had not seen them before. So I don't know what the charges or how it works, but I was actually just looking at them this morning.
I like what they do, honestly. Like,
yeah.
It's better than the manual process that I have clients do, which is literally checking their ConnectWise and seeing what's on the parent account and then what's on the child account, and making sure that everything's assigned to the right client. And then you pull it out, extrapolate all that information, pop it into an Excel, and then you're literally ticking off what they have and checking, it's a YX axis of what's in-house and what's not, right? So from that standpoint, I love it. But to Beth's point, you do have to use the dang thing, right? It's not something that you can just sort of like plug and play. So it's almost like, how bad do you really want it? It's one of those situations where it's like, it's useful. It's really useful, but you have to have somebody kind of doing it and putting the information in, and I don't know. That's what do you think? Overall, happy with the purchase?
No, I am actually very happy. There's two caveats to this. So John depends on me to make sure it's all set up and integrated. But it's important that, because there is a lot of work of setting it up, because you've got to make sure all your integrations is pulling in the right information. But what's nice about it, once you do your assessments, you have the conversation documented that you had with your client. I've seen several. There's another one, Audit IT, that Kaseya owns, and people have been happy with that, but we like Life Cycle Insights better. It has your dashboards, and again, it goes back to how much you use it, but there is a lot of work setting it up.
Do you mind sharing like what approximately is to buy into it?
I think I have special pricing. So ScalePad purchased Lifecycle Insights. So there's two components of it. It's $165 up to 25 clients. And then there's an add-on that they discounted for me, and I'm still in the process of setting that up. And it goes back to, you have your stack, more or less,
Mhm.
and grade what stack the clients, because usually it's less expensive if you stay with a certain stack. Like we have Sonic Wall firewalls. You only have to know Sonic Wall firewalls. That's just an example. So you have your stack, and then you align your clients with that stack. And that's just another conversation to have with your QBRs. So there's another component, but we just added that. So I can't give you yays or nays.
No,
with
that helps. I really appreciate that, Beth. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Oh yeah, nice meeting you too.
Sorry guys, I can throw you in there. So my next segue into that though is if you're focusing, right, and you're expanding into existing accounts, you had a question about stack. Is that your offering stack or your sales stack?
Are you talking to me or to who, Beth? Me?
To you, yeah, Pam, because you
It's
said you
really-
had an additional question about stack.
It's really both. I mean,
And that
because
could
again,
be like 3 different things right now.
Sorry?
Are we talking tech stack, sales stack, or our own personal offerings?
yeah, it's all of the above, really. I mean, because again, we've kind of just the way, I think, again, we're different from, I think, a lot of the other companies here, in the way I've kind of moved into this industry and how we've done things. So for me, it's probably, I'm doing that kind of in the reverse, honestly, than a lot of other people here. So for me, it's still, I've been holding back on becoming the MSP and just doing things in a more consulting way. But now I'm, like I said, when we started, I'm finding that, maybe I'm just throwing too much money away. So it is developing that tech stack of, as you guys call it, and plugging in those blanks, which we don't have a lot of those in place, because I was really trying to stay neutral in the assessment and consulting aspect of it. But I think, we're being pulled piece by piece. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to, hear what's working for other people, but I don't know if this is about selling, but just about, finding out what's working or what's not. I mean, we bought into a program a few years ago, and we know like the contract's coming up in 2 months. And I'm like, this one piece, they revised it and it's just not working for us. It's horrible. And we've tried and tried and tried. It's just not working for us. So we've gone around it and gotten other resources and consultants to help us to do what we need to do rather than using that. So I
Sure.
know we're not going to do it anymore. So.
So you're right. So for a tech stack question of what to use to service your people, that gets into the realm of how to run your MSP, which is totally fine for the conversation inside of the platform, because that's where you guys can be a little bit back and forth and sharing ideas. But this is really supposed to be focused on the sale. Not that doesn't have
Right.
anything to do with it, but it's spherical, right? Bashir uses in Verisoft. Is that for the end of contracts that's coming through?
That's for the QBRs, and we also use it for as a communication tool for
Mm-hmm.
the staff to request service, and it also has an RM. I just throwing it out there. Something you might want to look at.
So that is fabulous, and thank you for that.
Thank you.
If you want to share that on the platform so that people can start seeing it, we could actually start a thread that says QBR tools, right, that people use, because it could be really interesting to see what other people are using and see what the best is. I obviously, have the ones that I am most familiar with, but that doesn't mean I know all of them, right? So it's always good to share those for sure. If we're talking about our sales tech stack of what to use, right? I don't necessarily want to push on anybody any tool, right? I know some tools that I prefer. I know some tools that I don't like as much, but I can give you good solid pointers to what you need. I know Bashir, you and I were talking about getting a true CRM in place, right? One where you can actually put these funnels in place, put these flows in place, and that was his promise to me, that if he signed up for this, his first purchase was going to be an actual, which the man's been in business for 20 some odd years. Like, I mean, he knows what he's doing. Like, this is not something like, oh shoot, I'm just starting, right? Like, but it is time to start positioning yourself as that thought leader in the space, which means communication. It's regular communication. Automate that crap and don't have to deal with all of it. And also processing through your sales funnel so that once you get banned and you have the right sort of selling questions answered, you know how to move it through so that you can efficiently work through that pipeline. So it's going to end up helping you. So at your level, it's funny because you're such a mature MSP. Thank you very much. Because you are such a mature MSP, but at the same time, from a sales perspective, you're kind of at this point of you don't really have a sales team. So for me, if it were me, I would probably err on the side of go easy and be able to segment your lists, be able to automate, be able to do email blasts, be able to work through a sales process, but don't overwhelm yourself. So by getting a more confusing solution, such as, and believe me, I love HubSpot. I recommend HubSpot to a lot of people. And I also recommend, companies like Entreport, Keep. There are other larger sort of CRMs out there, but for you, what you're doing right now, I honestly think Go High Level would be fine for you. That's what Marketopia leans on. That's what I have leaned on for some smaller ones, and some.
What did you call it? I wasn't familiar
teams.
with it. Alex, what was it?
I'll share with you guys also. I have a PDF of useful links, right?
Okay.
And these are all of our preferred tools inside of it. So don't worry about tools and writing things down and everything, because I'll just share that with you in the chat, which will also make you guys go on the platform. So see what I'm doing there? I'm training. So if you guys can go on the platform, I think Go High Level for you, Bashir, specifically, really, really good fit. I know that Pam, you guys have been on HubSpot for forever, but I know you're not on a paid for like pro subscription.
Yeah.
And I don't think, and I think I think the opportunity for automation is limited based on what you have.
Yeah,
So
I don't really know why
you are-
we've held off on that, because I think we just need to do it. I think it's been mentioned several times. I'm like, there's no reason why we shouldn't at this point. I think it would
Yeah.
help us a fair amount.
I think for what you guys are doing, again, this is not something I have a problem making people spend money unnecessarily. I just don't see a need for it. I think at some point when you have a true sales team and you get, because honestly, you could even have a dialer go into Go High Level and do that. I think you'd be fine with that. And it's less expensive. You can put great funnels in place and it works. So I'll send you that link in the PDF. Okay. Beth, you are so ingrained in Keep. I am not saying to go anywhere else other than Keep. It works. It's great. And she has traversed the deserts of the confusion of getting funnels built and all of the things, and she has lists segmented out. So she's not at a spot where it's just setting it up. You know what I mean? Like, she's already there. Now it's cleaning it up and making sure that we are using correct documentation and correct segmentation properly, so that the right lists are getting the right comments and the right messages. It also can get a little messy when you've got a bunch of leads coming in. So she's learning how to talk with her hands. Same with me. Sorry, we should be Italian, but we're not. So essentially, what we're looking at is how to utilize the right tools. So stack number one. The very first thing you invest in is a good CRM that is not a PRM, it is not a PSA, and it is not an RMM. So this is completely sales and marketing focused. Another limitation on HubSpot. And again, this is not a limitation on what we want we want you to do, right? You've got marketing as well as sales. All right, that is playing with you. You need to stop. Go away. So this is super fun for a meeting, right? So one of the things that we need to focus on though is the ability to have the sales and the marketing piece, and that limitation that HubSpot is going to give you. If you want to focus in on the sales, they're going to charge you for the marketing, and then you're going to have a limitation on what it can do, and only a certain amount of marketing contacts. Another thing that you guys need to get, and this is for everybody on this call, is some sort of a email warmer. And the email warming is going to allow you to send out mass emails, which is going to help you with your prospecting. It is not going to shut you down. It is not going to allow you to have spam. It is not going to affect that. And it will allow your deliverability rate to go up. In the last year and a half, this is something that unfortunately is just the truth of it. It sucks, and I hate that it's true, but it is what it is. Okay, you're done. One of the things that we have found is that the deliverability rates have gone way down. Spam scores have gone way high, and people have been getting their emails shut down. It's not fun. And it's crazy because, like, if you think about it, like less than 20 years ago, people were asking to be on people's email lists. Do you guys remember like signing up to be on people's email lists? I remember that. And so it's totally different. Nope. All right. If we're doing that, we're sticking out our tongues. Go away.
No, I'm still recovering. I'm a recovering person from that because it happened to us many years ago. And it's still always in the back of my mind because it really was a problem for a long time.
It was. And it's now become such a problem that we've had to get very creative. So it's almost like a cocktail of tools that we're using in order to allow the same deliverability and the same type of prospecting that we used to have. So it's essentially an email warmer, which we have one that is very good called Lenlist. We have an email outbound tool. I don't care which one you use. It can be MailChimp, it can be Constant Contact, you can utilize Apollo with your already established Apollo account. There are a lot of different ways to do it, but if you have a list that is cold and you need to send out some sort of a prospecting email without spamming and getting shut down, it cannot come from your domain. So you also have to have a subdomain or an additional domain that is somewhat like the one you have, but not exactly. And then you also need a dummy account on your own domain. Again, it's just the way of the world at this point. It's horrible, but if you're in business, do it right and just get that. So if it hasn't been done, it has to happen. Another thing that works in your favor is everybody set up on Google My Business. Beth is saying yes. Yay, Beth.
And you got to
what about you?
constantly feed it. I mean, it's constantly being put content out there.
It's a beast. Bashir, do you have Google My Business set up on yours?
I don't think so. I have to ask Brian.
Ooh,
about
you
it.
got homework this week. Yeah,
What is-
homework.
what
You
is-
guys have a brick and mortar. So Google My Business is going to allow people to find you organically through Google. And so it's go on Google My Business. If you haven't set up, it's almost like as if you were, anything you post on social media can go on Google My Business. Anytime you post a blog, it can be posted on Google My Business. Anytime you update address, times, operational hours, anything like that, office, holiday hours, whatever you do, put it on Google My Business, feed it, because people are going to find you
I think we are.
that way. Okay, good. Are you feeding it?
I don't think so.
All right, so that's another thing that we have to do. The next thing that so that's on the list, right? So, you know, if you're creating a checklist of, are we findable and can I talk to people, right? Can people find us and can I communicate with them? That's the list right there of what you need to sort of invest your time in. It's not even dollars, it's just time, which can sometimes be more expensive than the dollars. So, you know, Beth knows it better than anybody. She's the one running everything over there and doing all the things and training all the people, and it's impossible, right? So we want to make sure that when you do things, you're doing it with a purpose. One other item that could be really useful when you're looking at pulling lists is, and we do have a preferred pricing link as well, is Apollo. It can help a ton.
I'm not familiar with Apollo. What is Apollo?
So Apollo helps us to pull lists and target the right people that are in our target market. Now, Pam, for you, if you invest in this, I will come across this phone and just choke you out because you're not ready to. We got to get that.
No problem.
That's
fine. We're trying to get rid of stuff this year.
Right.
Right. And keep it
Not
lean
yet.
to what we really need. So that's
for
fine.
For you specifically, we want to really laser focus in on the messaging and the pricing of everything before we even start hunting people. Because if we're talking to the wrong people, then what, you just wasted $1,000.
Yeah, I
Not
trust
worth
you.
it.
Never mind.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Don't just write it down if you want to, but then put it somewhere on a post-it that never gets done until we're ready to get it done. And then Jeff also. Jeff was on Plenty and Seamless, and then went to Apollo because it ended up that he needed that sort of email outbound, right? We had to warm up that email. We had to make sure that it was coming from another domain. So he has lived it, and it's annoying because we've had to pivot so much, specifically in the last year and a half. It's post-COVID. People are not playing around with it. And I know all of a sudden we started talking top of funnel, but I feel like that's sort of like the bare basics when we're not talking about, you know, when you're talking tech stack for sales, right? And you're also making sure that you're planning out where you're going to be going, how you're going to be getting referrals, how you're going to be talking to people, what events you're going to be going to. Lewis actually just posted, you know, what are some great events for MSPs to go to? And I'm like, oh man, I've got a list, you know, any chamber event. If you're local, go chamber. If you're not local, specifically Bashir, for you guys, you are focused on nonprofit sector. Have you pulled any lists of, you know, and this might be on your 30, 60, 90-day plan, right? Have you pulled any lists of events that are coming up for the foundation? Beth, you too, for your 30, 60, 90. I know Kyle was on yesterday, but were you on?
No, I had a conflict. Dean scheduled before he went out of town. He scheduled during the same time. And I said, someone's going
Dean
to
took you away from me. Oh, that rat. Okay, fine. He only gets it for like a couple more minutes, and then he can work around my TechSellerate schedule. Haha. So one of the things that we were assigned yesterday was to work on the 30, 60, 90-day plan from a sales perspective. There's a template on the platform, so you don't have to recreate the wheel, and you don't have to come up with anything from scratch. You can just sort of fill it out. And I'll work on that with you on our onboarding call.
good, because we really need that. I mean, we just don't have good plans at this point.
Yep. That's why it's part of it, because everybody's in the same boat right now. All right, I've talked ad nauseum. Who has more questions?
You know, I'm just really trying to focus on that theme that we talked about, the processes. So as I shift my mind to think in this way, sales and marketing, you know, we've been in business for over 20 20 years, but mostly just being a tech and then working through referrals and working on trying to execute the business. So even though we've been in business that long, in a lot of ways, it still feels like we're a startup, especially when you talk about things like marketing or sales. So just really trying to focus on a target market, and then look at how do we develop our messaging? Like what type of communication do we need to put together so that it encompasses everything that we do in a very succinct way, and then focus on the processes for onboarding. So we don't want to start marketing and then bring on a lot of new clients, and then we can't process them. So that's going to be bad. So we did the target, working on the messaging processes, and then after that, execution, as I see it. So execution would be the implementation of these tools. Am I thinking about that in the right way? In a lot of ways, I feel like I'm a toddler, work my way through.
No.
Had a toddler there on your lap, but I'm the toddler trying to figure out how to do all of this.
Well, see, now she's off my lap. She's just trying to get back on. So I think you're right on target with what you're trying to build, but this happens with a lot of specifically technical people that have been doing tech for a long time. They think about the process and go into the weeds so much that progress doesn't happen. I don't think that's necessarily indicative of what you will do. I'm just saying that I have seen it happen.
No, I am fearful of that,
Yeah, the overthink can sometimes prevent motion. I'm not looking for perfection. This is the one time when if you ever were in school and you took a class and the teachers wanted everything to be perfect, this is not that class. This is one where it's like progress, not perfection. Let's keep it moving. Things will get better. Things will improve as you do it. Get it launched, get it going, and go through it. Perfect example. This course right here, or this membership right here, right? We're building it. We're building it as it's in the air, and as long as I am giving you valuable resources and actionable tasks, and you're seeing results, I'm very happy to do it this way, because it's better to benefit as many people as I possibly can versus waiting until something is perfect and then nobody ever sees it.
Do you think that these concepts should be worked in tandem? So while we're trying to document processes and refine processes, we should also be setting up and implementing the tool.
Some yes, some no.
Right.
So what I would say is map the process, map how you want it to go, because then as you invest in the tools, you know how it is going to be built. We have one client, for example, that they did a great job of buying all the tools, right? But every single thing they do is manual. And I mean, I'm talking everything. Like they put something in HubSpot, but then they manually have to create a quote in Datto Commerce. Then when Datto Commerce closes, they manually have to upload the opportunity and close it out in AutoTask. From there, that means they have to manually close one in HubSpot. Beth is shaking her head. That right there would take an hour out of somebody's time just to make sure all the things are mapping. So what I don't want you to do is invest in tools before you've mapped out how to connect it. At least map it out, right? Map out what needs to happen. And sure, maybe you have to do it manually for a month or two, but at least here's the map, here are the tools, here's the process, here's what we do. Now we're going to test it, make sure that that's exactly how we want it to go. Okay, now it's time to build because we have the tools in place, we know it works, and it's already been mapped. So there's the difference, right? I just don't want you stuck in overthink of, we have to connect it, it has to work, we have to test it 7 times before we make it work, because that's just not conducive to moving business forward. We are too small, we are too scrappy, we don't have time.
Gotcha.
Is that clear?
Yeah, it's clear. If you could just outline really quickly the tools, how you categorize them. So CRM, dialer, emailer, what other just general categories?
Giant pain, isn't it? So it's a giant pain, isn't it? So we actually broke it down into that PDF, and I'm going to send you that PDF on the platform, because it really goes down through categories. You've got communication, you've got you've got how to attract, you've got how to communicate, and then you've got how to map out and handle the sale specifically. And with those tools, right, each of those, right, then you also, I mean, we even go into how you can train people, how you can onboard people. Like categorically, it's a lot easier if you break it into categories. And I think I do probably need to add more into it, because we did that PDF probably, I want to say 6 months ago. So it's time to add some more, just because we start running into processes. But I'll upload that today so that you guys have it.
Okay. That's just how my brain works. You know, just I have to be able to categorize everything and then start going down the list.
I do the exact same thing.
Okay. I'll probably ask 2 or 3 more times before it resonates. And then
That's okay. You know, that's what we're here for. That's what this is here for. Like, I mean, no one was doing this with you guys in the first place, and that's why it's necessary, because it's like, you guys are so good at what you do technically, but going through that sales process and the functions, it's tough. It's tough. And unless you've done it a million and bajillion times and you've seen everything from a sales process, and you've heard all of the rebuttals, and you've heard all the whiny salespeople, and you've heard all of the things, like, I know this just because I've lived it. You guys haven't, so it's fine. You're good.
appreciate it.
All right, we got 4 more minutes. Anybody with additional questions? Unless too much to think about. I'm sorry. Did I give you too much to think about? All right.
I would ask
Well,
us, because I didn't pick up for Pam, you guys only do the cybersecurity assessments?
You're on mute, Pam.
Sorry, yeah, I forgot to unmute. No, we do more than that. We do training, we do policy and procedure development. I would say those are our still primary focuses. So yeah, we should talk, we share.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, because we're an MSP, but we do focus on cybersecurity as of the last couple of years. One thing that I would recommend for you, and something that we're trying to do too, is to really focus on the cyber insurance perspective. So really focusing on helping these customers and these potential organizations look at what is it going to take for them to get their cybersecurity insurance. And that is usually a leader into, you know, all type of sales, like you said, training,
Yeah.
policy.
One of the things I've been doing, and I actually have a presentation on it already for cyber, I've been gotten paid to do it for cybersecurity insurance. So it's definitely an area that's, and there's a lot of aspects to it that even finding, I've been trying to find a good partner to maybe even pass, you know, to be able to pass to the cyber insurance that isn't just a pass through to them, because most of them, but so far haven't had a combination of luck with that. But yeah, we do a lot of talking about cyber insurance. So thank you. Yeah, I think it's a great avenue as well, of opening the conversation.
Where are you guys located?
I'm in California.
California.
You?
Chicago.
Ah, hometown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was born there, but got a lot of family. Actually, the family's coming here this year to visit.
Oh, wow. Nice.
For a
Got some
change.
better weather over there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Awesome. Well, nice to meet you.
Same here. Where are you, Beth?
I'm in San Antonio.
San Antonio. Ah, okay.
Wow.
Nice mix.
Stretched
Yeah.
out here.
Yeah, we're all over the place. I love it.
Nice.
And Justin, Indiana, how's the weather up there? Is it cold?
No, it's not too bad. It's like 35 and sunny.
That's cold.
I know. He's
Not
like,
too
it's good and
bad.
sunny at 40. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Hey, you know, I'm in Chicago. As long as we don't have snow, we're good.
Yeah. When I told Jeff before you guys got on, my cousin, when he left a couple weeks ago, because he's retired, it was 18 and feeling like 5 or something. So he's like, yeah, happy to be in the 60 plus to 80 zone in California for a month or so.
All relative.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for all playing all in and being really active today. I appreciate it. It's always more fun when everybody gets involved. So thank you. I'm gonna hop off. You guys are more than welcome to stay on and chit chat if you want. But I have a hard stop, and I'm actually meeting with Beth. So I'll see you.
Yep.
I'll see you in a bit.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. Have a good one.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
you guys too.
Bye.
Bashir, oh, here you go. I'll talk to him later. That was amazing with the 3-year-old in tow.